Alrighty, let's go ahead and adjust this a little bit. There we go. Not so bright. Okay, so um, I got tier 1 through tier 10. Set them all up. Literally everything. Crews, guns, ammo. I set them up like I would normally set up any tank that I wanted for my garage. Unfortunately, on the test server, no one's interested in playing tier 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Actually, 6. I did get this into a 7. And it took like 4.5 minutes, uh, 2 or 3 times. I think I clicked it twice. I timed out, hit it again, finally got into a battle. I really want to try this little rascal out because this thing is a medium tank, as big as it is. Um, it looks like it would be a really fun medium tank to play. Not really much of any armor, but it's a medium tank. But speed-wise, I mean, for the size of it, 56 kph, 18.71 specific power to weight, this thing looks like it would haul butt. It's just so big. I'm like, when I first clicked on it, I'm like, oh, another, getting a nice heavy tank here. And I looked, I'm like, wait a minute, that's a medium. Um, I kind of wanted to go through all these, go over everything with you, but geez, oh Pete, we'd have a 7-hour video. So I'm just going to go over the ones that I am able to get in battle. Obviously the Pewdale, we already have that in the regular tech tree. I've done a review of that, I believe. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did. So I'm not going to go over that one. I think what I'm going to do is start running my Poodle, though, and that way I can get my crew into that. Because right now they've got brother. This is the standard crew I have. Well, not standard, but the crew I have in my Poodle carried over to the test server, and I've got Brothers in Arms and 24% on their second crew skill. So I think I'm going to start running the crap out of this, and that way I can ready it up. And once the new tech tree is released, I think I'll switch my crew over and make them into a heavy crew and throw them in like one of the tier 9 or 10. So, I was able to get the tier 7 out after a couple different attempts, and this is the final results. When I'm on the test server, doesn't matter how I do, it doesn't really affect my standings in World of Tanks. So, I try and shoot all standard rounds. That way, you can see what this gun can do with just regular rounds. Obviously, you'll see that I got shot. Took 2 shots to knock me out, but that's because it was from 704. I can't remember what it was. Well, anyways, let me see. ISU 152. I think that's what it was that knocked me out. Turn my air conditioner off. Jesus, freezing like a refrigerator in here. Yeah, so I got hit 2 times, got knocked out by ISU 152 that I couldn't spot. That was a new map, too. It's called Studzinski? Studzinski? I liked what I saw of it so far. I really like it. I like the open maps. I'm not much for corridor maps. This one's like a big, wide open map where you can make multiple decisions where you want to go. There's just myself and another, I think 2, maybe 3 people went that way. And got some shots off. AMX M449. I spotted him. He got hit for 36 upon me spotting him. Hit a Pershing one time for 341 and knocked out his driver. Hit a 45 TP, which that's exactly what I'm in. It's the 45 TP Hibacha. I'm not even gonna, I'll just chop it up. We hit him 3 times for 903 damage, knocked out his track, bounced 2 of his rounds. Lorraine 155-50 artillery, hit him for 315, and a Tiger 131, we hit him for 319, and bounced one of his rounds, and he got hit for 312 upon me spotting him, and we originally spotted him. And we got a fire for effect. Got second most damage at 1,878 and a base experience of 384. I wonder how much damage this guy did. Oh, just 68. Not like he went in it, because a lot of times you'll be on these test servers and people intentionally kill you because they don't give a rat's ass. I've given up trying to play arty on these test servers at all because 99% of the time I would play an artillery, a friendly would kill me. So I'm like, not even worth it. But yeah, you can see the competition or whatever friendly it's just like the US server. I mean, look at this: 1 2 3 4 5 6 did 0 damage, and we had 1 2 3 4 do 0 damage. How the hell we lost that match, I can't tell you, other than this ISU 152 was back in a bush and got 5,000 damage and 5 kills, so kudos to him. But yeah, our top tiers, our Hellcat never moved, and we had 2 KV2s that, Jesus criminy. He did 1,342 damage to friendlies. I hate I really do. I hate assholes like that. It's a test server, but come on. And then you get somebody that's AFK. Dude never even moved. Let's go play on the test server. And then they don't move. Nice. I tell you. World of Tanks. But then our top tier tanks didn't do much of crap. Tier 8. 40 TP, I think that's the tier. Yeah, he got in there with a tier 6. I tried tier 6 forever and tier 5 and no luck. But yeah, I had 2 of those that really didn't do much of anything. The 45 TP, the same tank I was in, he didn't break but 660. 40 TP, 800. Yeah, just sad team. But anyway, so we had 11 shots, 8 hits, 6 pen, all standard rounds. I had to bump, they give you a bunch of gold, so I did 30-day premium time because it cost me a penny. Standard rounds are all I shot. Did 1,878 damage from a distance of more than 300 meters, 341. We hit 6 times, 2 pen, 4 bounce for 780 damage. We spotted 1, damage 4, destroyed 0, and damage with our assistance was 348, and we lost 12,937 credits. Yeah, so that really shows you. And this was all standard rounds. The only thing that really, I got lit on fire, so fire extinguisher ended up getting used. So, that was, yeah, see auto reply consumables, it was 20,000. So that was a big chunk. If I didn't get lit on fire, we probably would have made a little bit of a credit. But not a whole lot. We'll go over this real quick, and I'm going to do these this way. What I'll do is kind of do this like review part of it with the damage, and then I'll do the replay. It's just a lot easier because getting on and off with the test server, it just takes a substantial amount of time to get on. And also, you'll have to forgive me because the best ping I can get right now is like between 160 and 200. Yeah, 169. The other one's 165, but I've tried that server. It just seems like the CT1 I get a little bit better. The ping says it's slower, but I seem to get better maneuverability. So you'll see it looks, to me, I'm feeling the lag, like when I'm going around a corner. Sometimes it takes a few seconds for the tank to turn, aiming. So if I don't do a substantial amount of damage, a lot of times it could be just because I'm just having a bad gaming experience because of the bad ping. Yeah, you get up around 200 milliseconds or, over 150 millisecond ping, and it's red. That's kind of telling you, hey, you don't want to be playing here. But in order to do these reviews, I don't have a choice. But anyways, let's go ahead and go over the 45 TP Hibachi grill. One thing I did notice about every one of these that I set up, the view range on them all seemed to suck. Every one of them I ended up putting coated optics on, or almost every one of them. I think I got them on all these. Oh, nope, the tier 9 I didn't. And the ranges, yeah, view range is only 389. And the tier 10 I did because tier 10 was like 380. So you really, I mean, every one of these, even like down here at tier 1, I had to put them on because the view range sucks so bad. 315, and this is with coated optics. 338, 350, 339, 385, and that's after coated optics have been put on them. So yeah, they all seem to be kind of blind as a bat. They all seem to have kind of a long load time. The tier 10, you get up, yeah, you do 50, if I can talk, 750 average damage, but the stock reload was like 19 seconds, and I got it down to 16.83, which it's about the same as the E100. Tier 9, the reload is 13 and a half seconds, and that's 560 average damage. I did notice that most every one of the guns, even, yeah, down at Tier 1, what was it? No, this has got the autoloader. What's the average damage on this? 11. A couple of them you can opt to put an autoloader on it, like this Tier 4. You can put an autoloader on it, or you can put just a standard gun that's got better pen. I kind of want to really go over all of them, but it's just like I said, it'll be a 7-hour video, so try and keep them short and sweet as I can. So let's go over this one real quick with the gun. Uh, Standard pen, it's a tier 7, so you can get away with 192 pen. Um, if I started bouncing to round after round, I probably switched over to the premium, which is APCR, which is nice, and it bumps you up to 225. So it's not a substantial buff. It's not knocking you up to over 300 penetration, but it's enough to push you up to where you can penetrate a tier 9 if you have to, more likely in the side or rear. Not 225 go through the front of most tier 9s. But, yeah, so standard pen is 192 with AP, APCR is 225, and HE is 53. That's another thing I noticed. It seems like their HE rounds seem like they had a higher penetrating, like that's 61. The tier 9, that's 68. The tier 10, I think, is like 90. Yeah, 90. So all of them, their HE rounds seem to be a little bit higher, higher of a penetration. Their armor is pretty good too, especially on the turret. It reminds me, like the tier 8, when you hit this, it reminds me a lot of the IS-3 without the pike nose. Just a standard front, kind of like the IS-4 in a way. Or the STI, just no pike nose. Looks a lot like the IS-3. But, okay, let's get back on track here. Sorry, guys, I'm like a kid at a candy store with all these new tanks to play. Yeah, and I should have enough experience to convert all mine over and hopefully get right up to the tier 10. And like these are not, in stone. They can make changes to these. This is the test server. So they might be like, oh, 192 pen on this tank. It's not enough. Let's give them a little more. Or it's too much. Let's give them less. So what you see here, always expect it could change to the worse or the better. I've always thought they kind of do to the better, but until I saw what they did to the light tanks before they released them, like the patch right before they released them, they trashed them, and now all your tier 10 light tanks went from possibly being really good light tanks to junk. Sorry guys, I mean to cough in your ear. But anyway, so let's go over the numbers here. Rate of fire 6.32 rounds a minute, so the reload is 9.49. Your reloads on these are all going to be a little bit longer because you are hitting for a lot more damage than a standard tier 7 like you would see. Like this tier 7, you're hitting for 320, so you're hitting same that the T29 does, but T29's, I believe the T29 has about, no actually I think the T29 has a longer reload, but only by a second or two, but still it's longer. Turret traverse 29.2, and the Hall traverse 36.51. Not too bad. Gun depression is -8, and elevation is 20. Aim time, oh yeah, and I think I said aim time on all these seem to be pretty slow. Aim time was another one. It's like blind as a bat, and your aim time was really kind of long on every one of them. Dispersion is 0.38. Oh, and dispersion on all of them was a little bit high. I don't think any of them got even lower than 0.35 or 36. That's like the lowest. Average damage per minute is 2023. The 1,200 hit points. Your armor is 100 in the hull, 170 on the turret. And this one does have a kind of a weak spot right there with a commander's hatch. Got good slopes to it. I like the looks of all of them. My favorite one is this one here. It just looks so cool, and I want to get into a battle with it, so I'm going to try a couple different times to get into a battle with that one. The hull on the side is 50, and the turret is 100. And on the rear, the hull is 40, and the turret is 70. Somebody just texted me, so I'll check that in a minute. 45.04 tons, so it's a pretty heavy medium tank. I'm sorry, it's a heavy tank. So yeah, it would be a heavy tank. I'd say because it is a heavy tank. Um, I was thinking I thought the Tier 7 was still a medium, but nope, it's a heavy. 750 horsepower engine, specific power to weight is 16.65, which is pretty good. Top speed is 35 forward, 14 in reverse, so you're not going to make any new world records going from point A to point B, but it'll get you where you're going decently. Concealment's 9. Which actually for a heavy isn't too shabby. And I didn't set them up like, I mean, these, with what I have for gold and all this stuff in credits, I could increase these to where I've got 5 crew skills per person, but I did it with a 100% crew with 1 crew skill. Spotting, and that's with the coated optics, is 385 and signal range is 530. I did set it up with a gun rammer, gun lane drive, and coated optics. Most all of them, you cannot put vertical stabs on it until you get to, I believe it's the tier not 8 or 9. No, 8. The tier 8 and above, you can put vertical stabs. Tier 7 and lower, you have to use a gun lane drive. So anyways, that's the tier 7. Actually, you know what? Yeah, we'll do it the other way. I was going to say I could just go through all of them real quick, but that makes it kind of boring for you and kind of boring for me, because I'll be going, yeah, oh, this one hits 320. So we'll just do a review, and then we'll go ahead and do a replay. So if you want to hold on for a minute, I'll be back in just a minute with a replay for you. Alrighty, so it's going to look a little bit different here. This is on the test server. You can see it does different countdown. You can hit N to preview your personal mission. When you do, it brings up what you're supposed to do. And according to this, it looks like it's keeping track of both the Object 260 and Alliance missions, or the Excalibur. So it says both missions are being completed at the same at the moment. So if I happen to get the mission done for the 260, yay! You know, I can be doing both of them at the same time and not forego getting it done on the other one. And, excuse me. This is the test server, so my ping is really going to suck. As you can see, it's up around 300 right now, and it's usually about 150 during gameplay. So, yeah. Also, this is a new map. It is called Studzanski. The first 2 replays are on new maps, so I was clueless where to go. Obviously, brand new map. Let's just take a real quick peek at it before the match starts. Looks like that's as big as my mini map goes. I thought it went bigger. But I like these open maps. These are my favorite. You have some city over here, and that's kind of, if I remember right, where I ended up going. A little bit of an area right there. It looks like a little town, couple buildings or something. You got some water, dry bed, a lot of areas for artillery to go. These are my favorite maps. I don't like the corridor maps where you're stuck going one little way, which they don't have a lot of them, but there are a few. The reason I don't like those is because it's kind of a no-brainer. You go here, you know the enemy tanks are going to go there. You set up and shoot them. But, yeah, so let's get this rocking and rolling, and I'll shut my mouth, and we'll watch this replay on Studzanski. I do like this map a lot, though. And this is also the, this is the Tier 7, and, yeah, so we're mid-tier, and you can see it is, I'm going to go out to the outer view. For, this is a heavy tank, and it's not, I saw this dude back here start shooting. I'm like, oh great, here we go. Some asshole's going to start shooting me. This is a heavy tank, and it's not the fastest for a heavy tank, but it's also not the slowest. So, I'm not going to complain, put it that way. But yeah, I'm really liking this new map. I like this one. I like it a lot. I like it so much. I like it a lot. But yeah, so it's kind of like trying to figure out where to go, because, you know, I've never been on the map before, and then I see a lot of the heavy tanks and mediums getting lit up here, and there's several mediums with me. I got 1, 2, 3 mediums and another heavy, and we're just kind of rolling up this way, and looks, I guess I can shrink that down a little bit, bring that up. I'm going to pause it real quick. Now remember I told you about this dang mini map. It looks like maybe it stayed the same this time. Yeah, it actually did. It's a flipping miracle, but I'm going to make it a little bit lighter. But anyway, so here we go. There's a Tiger 131, and let's get this rocking and rolling. And I shoot all standard rounds with this, and we hit a nice hit for 319. Average damage on this is 320. And it's got a decent reload, but the penetration is where it kind of it's lacking. 192. So that Tiger 131, I hit him right in the front. If I'd have been shooting premium, would have went right through him. But I'm trying to show you what you can do with standard rounds so you can try and make credits. That 45 TP, I think that was his real sad excuse of side scraping. He basically drove straight back and gave me, or actually an angle like that, and gave me a side, like a beautiful shot in the side of his tank, man. I was waiting for that Tiger 131 to pull out in front there, but he stopped and got killed by somebody else over here. That 40 TP. So, time to roll on in here. Got a little bit of marshland, a little bit of muck, some crocodiles in there maybe. And with these, I'm going to stop this real quick. So we got two guys going this way, me going this way, and we got two people sitting back there hiding. Which I don't know why. But yeah, with those two going that way, I decided I'm going to come around this way and flank them. I'll try not to pause it if I can help it, guys, because got a lot of, at least I think like 4 replays to go here. The 7, 8, 9, and 10. So we pull right around the side and give them a nice little love tap right in the side, and they're screwed because they got tanks on both sides. There's really nothing they can do. Pull out, shoot them in the front. I'm angled like crazy. I do want to see, I don't know if my, okay, yeah, it doesn't have my mods on here because this is the test server. But yeah, you can see, whoops, where he hit me right, as I say, I'm not going to pause it, but you can see he hit me right there. I had it angled really good, and I actually angle it again when I come around on this one. Oh no, it was a VK 4503 that shot me and bounced. But when I start getting shot at, I'm like, okay, time to get over here and hide. So we're up to 1222 damage. Nothing super fantastic. Would have had a little more damage if I'd have been shooting premium rounds, but like I said, I'm trying to show you what the tank can do with standard rounds. I was kind of surprised that really there wasn't much premium ammo flying around on this test server, or this match, because on the test server, I'd say about 99.9% of people are slinging nothing but premium rounds, and it sucks when they do that because it's really hard to show how well the armor is, what you can bounce, what you can't bounce, if everybody's just shooting premium rounds, because they're going to go right through you. But, so we see artillery aim. The aim time on this is not too bad. The tier 7's alright. When you get up to the tier 8, 9, and 10, the aim time is not really too friendly. So that KV2, he had to have been setting by a hill or something, because that round I coulda, shoulda, woulda thought it would have hit, but it didn't. And that round bounced again. I'm shooting standard rounds, so I think this round bounces too. No, that one didn't even hit. Yeah, so 192 penetration from that distance. It petered out before it hit the KV2 and did not penetrate the KV2. And you would think 192 would pen, but you know, you're looking at quite a distance away. So we take a shot at the Pershing and we actually penetrate him. 1878. ISU 152 plugs me for a nice chunk of 784, and he is shooting premium rounds. And that thing definitely does not need to be shooting premium rounds at flipping tier 7s. And there he shoots me. God, that was crazy. That was kind of a fast reload. But he hits me again for 375, again with a premium round. Yeah, it's redonkulous. Somebody shooting premium rounds at tier 7. It's like, are you that sad of a player that you have to shoot premium rounds at tier 7s? That's just a shitty player is what that is. But yeah, they go on to win this one. Our Hellcat is AFK. I wait for a minute because well, no, we don't really have to stick around. But yeah, so we end up losing this match, unfortunately. But yeah, if you want to hold on for a minute, I will have some post-game stats for you. And we'll have 3 more matches. We got 4 total matches, Tier 7, 8, 9, and 10. So be back in just a minute, guys. Alrighty, now we're going to go over the 53 TP Markanowskigo. I am not even going to try pronouncing the rest of the names. We'll just say the 53 TP. My kids are going crazy sending me messages here, so I'll have to mute that. See if I can turn it down real quick. There we go. Now, no more texting for a little bit here. So anyways, this is a Tier 8. Like I said in the last video, it reminds me a lot of the IS-3. Looks a lot like it. I haven't taken this one out yet. I'm going to take it out in just a minute, but I wanted to do the review on it real quick. So you get a Tier 9 gun on a Tier 8 tank, which is really nice. Penetration on all these tanks is not the best, to be honest with you. 218 with your standard round, which is AP. The nice thing is you do get APCR for your premium, and the penetration on that is 245, and your HE is 61. Average damage is also nice at 420 for your standard and your premium, and 550 for your HE. And we're going to go over my numbers. Like I said, it's with a standard crew, 100% setup with 1 crew skill. Kind of point over here so you can see it. And we'll get the things back up here. Alrighty, so my rate of fire is 5.48 rounds a minute. Reload is 10.96 seconds. So you kind of a long reload, but you're also doing, what was it, 420 damage. Turret traverse 31.29, hull traverse 33.38. So it doesn't traverse the fastest in the world, so just watch out you don't get circle strafed. Gun depression is pretty good at -8 plus 20. Aim time is rather lengthy at 2.59. Dispersion is rather high at 0.36, but I told you guys that those numbers seem to be high on all of them. Average damage per minute is 2,300. You have 1,450 hit points. For a heavy tank, that seems a little bit low. Yeah, doesn't the IS-3 off the top of my head, I think, doesn't that get like 1550 or something like that? Interesting. Hull armor on the front is 110, turret armor is 210. On the side, it's 80 on the side and on the hull, and 140 on the turret, and the rear is 50 on the hull and 90 on the turret. It's a good looking tank. I think it looks real nice. I like the fact that it is not a pike nose, so you can side scrape a lot easier, because the problem with the pike nose is you try and side scrape, you got your pike nose, and in order to side scrape, you got to, angle it, and then they just go right through your side. So this doesn't have that problem. I don't know how much of a weak spot this is going to be, that machine gun port, but we will find out. Okay, mobility, we're looking at a 57, basically 58-ton tank, and yeah, so it is a heavy. You can ram into stuff and you are going to do some damage to them, and probably not too much to yourself. You get 800 horsepower engine, specific power weight is 13.8. On all of them, that seems to be pretty good, except for the tier 9 and 10. I think the specific power, well, we can look real quick. I think it was a little bit lower. Yeah, 12.8 and 12.84. So most of the rest of them are pretty, about 13, almost 14 or higher. Top speed in forward is 40 and reverse is 16. I wish that were 20 in reverse, but yeah, close enough, I guess. Concealment is 8.33. It's a heavy tank. What do you expect? View range is 407 and signal range is 700. And I did set it up again with the gun rammer. We were able to use the vertical stabs, and we ended up using the coated optics again. Because view range, like I said earlier, sucks. But yeah, anyways, if you want to hold on for a minute, we will have some gameplay for you and some post-game stats. So hold on, I'll be right back. Hello, my little minions. So yeah, we're on a new map. This is the Tier 8. It is give me a second here, 53 TP, and I was looking for the actual name of it. Where is it? It's got a weird name. Yeah, it doesn't show it. It's the 53 TP something. But anyways, yes, this is a new map. It is called 90 Minsk/name. I think they just haven't named it yet, is what they mean. But another new map, and I had no clue where to go. And unfortunately, our team all kind of YOLO one way. I go the other way. I kind of cut over here to the left, thinking, well, you know, this is a test server. I'm not real worried what happens. And I was hoping to get a lot of shots at a lot of enemy tanks. But unfortunately, yeah, these guys here, they start going this way, and then I think they pretty much cut right across that way. So we go over here. This is another map that I'm really liking. A lot of open areas, a lot of areas for you got both your city fighting. You know, here I saw that guy light up, and I thought I'll just back up. So showing you the backup speed here, not too bad. But you got city fighting here, you got city over here, you got open area in the center, you got water, you got some bridges. I like maps like this too. My favorite maps are this type and your like really open maps. I don't like complete and just strictly only city maps, because the problem you run to when you have strictly only city maps. So we hit that guy and plug him for 378. But yeah, when you have strictly city maps only, it makes it hard if you're in a tank that has crappy gun depression, if you're in artillery, if you're in a tank destroyer. So it's nice to have, and you'll see a lot of my shots. To me, I was looking at that like it was aimed, because you can see my ping is, you know, 180. It's right around 200. So I'm not getting the best. Let me knock his track off. My shots aren't going exactly where I'm aiming. If I had the server reticle on, it would probably be pointing over here. You know, it wouldn't be exactly. We hit him in per 736. But as you know, it just doesn't go exactly where you aim when your ping is kind of crappy like this. But obviously, this is a Russian server, so you know, it's going to be a crappy ping for me. But yeah, so you can see we had absolutely no one go this way at all. We had a couple tank destroyers hiding right in front of me, and our artillery is back here, which that was probably pretty smart of him to go back that way. Well, in a way, because unfortunately, if stuff starts coming through that way, because you can see they can go right through that city and come right up, you know, right over by him on our sides. And we start getting a couple tanks going this way, and I'm busy bouncing around, so it's nothing too exciting going on. I love the looks of these new Polish tanks. They really look nice. Oh, but then these guys start coming over this way, and I start getting hit by invisible scorpions. And you'll see this T-92, the artillery is shooting gold rounds. Scorpions shooting gold rounds. I was surprised that the Ravioli wasn't shooting gold rounds too. But you'll get a ton of that when you're on these test servers. Everybody there, Scorpion G, gold rounds. And it really sucks because I can't show you how well the armor works or doesn't work when every round they hit you is a premium round. Yeah, so unfortunately we got pretty well decimated. I think I penned, was it two rounds? Either 2 or 3 rounds. So, you know, nothing to write home about. The team ends up, I think, let me think for a second here. Did they win this one? Yeah, yep, they end up winning this one, but like I said, nothing fancy for me. But you get what you get, and if you don't like it, well, go watch somebody else's channel. No, I'm just kidding. Stay here, watch mine. I'm nice. I'm nicer than most people. I'm friendly. They call me Friendly Tank and Trucker. But anyways, if you want to hold on for a minute, we will have another replay for the Tier 9 in just a second. So I shall be right back. Alrighty, nothing too impressive that time. New map. It was another new map. Did really no clue where to go, and no one went to the I think it was west side there. I started going that way kind of myself, and they had a lot of tanks coming that way, and you could see by what I was getting is gold round after gold round hitting me. That's one bad drawback with the test server. I'm going to shoot standard rounds because I kind of want to see what the gun can do with standard rounds. I did shoot one premium right off the bat, switched over to standard, and only penned the 60 TP twice there. Hit him twice for 736 and knocked out his track. And he got hit for 803 upon us destroying his track. The 50 TP, we spotted him. He got hit for 149, and we bounced 2 rounds from the Scorpion G, who was slinging all premium rounds, of course. So it's really hard to show what the armor can do when you're getting hit by nothing but premium rounds. Also, like I said, that's a new. The first 2 tanks I took out, new maps, so really don't have a clue where to go. You see red coming up, like they're coming up in an area, and you don't know if they're going to be coming around a building, if it's set lower, because you just don't know the maps yet. So it's hard to get damage if you don't know if you're going to be able to shoot at something or not. So, I mean, I don't want to say you can't blame the tank, but you also can't blame the operator when you don't know the maps, and your team all goes kind of one way. I could have went one way with everybody, but what fun is that, especially in the test server? So we were way down here. We wouldn't even count that low. We were close to the bottom. Yeah, it was nothing very impressive. 736 damage. But like I said, the tank, I believe, is going to be really good. But 8 shots, 5 hit, and pen 2. I was getting a lot of turret shots, standard rounds. You put those 2 together, you're not going to have too good of luck doing a lot of damage or penetrating. We got hit 6 times, 4 pen, 2 bounce for 980. And you got to remember, like I said, we were getting hit by like everything that hit us was a premium round. Damage 1 destroyed 0, and damage with our assistance was 952, and we lost 38,680 credits. And that's probably, let's see, well, what do we got here? 40 in consumables, so that means we probably got lit on fire, or I think we might have got lit on fire. So far, I'll have to pay attention to the replay, but so far 2 tanks, both tanks got lit on fire. And I've got my baby on board sign on this one too, so damn it, they didn't care. And I think the other one was a repair kit. So I hope that's not a sign of things to come if I keep getting caught on fire. But yeah, so anyways, that was the Tier 8, the 53 TP. And like I said, it looks to be like it's a pretty good tank. The penetration's only 218 for the standard. Premium is actually only 245, so not the highest penetrating rounds for these tanks. But that means it brings back aiming for weak spots, and that's the way I liked it back in the day when I first started playing. You had to aim for weak spots. Now everybody just hits 2 and goes through you. Well, with these guns, if your premium round only bumps you up 20 or whatever, you're still going to have to aim for weak spots because you're just not going to melt through I'll just go right through his turret, Oh, number 2. Oh, look at that. 700 millimeters of armor. We went right through his turret. Ha, number 2. It's just not any fun when somebody does that, so... But anyways, if you want to hold on for a minute, we will come back here, and we will have the Tier 9. So if you want to hold on, I'll be back in just a minute. I'm back. Alrighty, so here we are in the Tier 9 with the 50 TP, and I'm not even going to try and pronounce that name. It's beyond my vocabulary. On this one, Tier 9, you get a pretty nice gun. Penetration, 250. I wish it were a little bit higher, like 260, 270, but 250 is workable. But anyways, you get 250 with your standard AP and 303 for your APCR, and HE is 68. Average damage is 560 for your standard and premium, 700 for your HE. Scroll back up top here. Rate of fire is 4.44 rounds a minute, so your reload is 13.5, and that is with a gun rammer. Nothing special, no food or anything, just a gun rammer, and 100% crew working on the first crew skill. Turret traverse 27.73, haul traverse is 27.73, so not the fastest. God bless America. Sorry guys, I'm gonna have to just shut this off because There we go. It's not their fault. They don't realize I'm making a video. That's not actually my kids. It was a buddy of mine. Where were we at? Oh yeah, so the traverse and for the hull and the turret, it's kind of slow. So this one, you got to be real careful you don't get circle strafed. Gun depression is -8 plus 20. Aim time again is slow at 2.81 seconds, almost 3 seconds. Dispersion, again, not too good at 0.38. Average damage per minute is 2489. You get 2,000 hit points. Hull armor in the front is 120. Turret is 230. Why is that still making flipping noise? I'm going to shut my damn thing off here. Hold on. Let's put it in airplane mode because now I'm starting to get pissed. I don't mind 1 or 2 texts, but one after another. Come on. Especially when I'm trying to make a video. I'm getting confused. Help me. Alright, so I think we were on the armor. So 120 on the hull in the front and 230 on the turret. The turrets on all these have... Oh, wow, that's kind of cool looking. Kind of sticks up. Reminds me of the M103. This might be my new favorite tank then. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, the hull or the turret on all these are really good, and the hulls are pretty good too. Hull armor on the side is 90, and on the turret it's 160. Almost forgot to tell you. On the rear, you got 60 on the hull, 100 on the turret. I like what they did with all these new tanks. Well, all of them, how they're putting stuff on the outside tracks and toolboxes and, you know, steel cables and jumpers, the slave cables, and well, if you're in the military, you know what a slave cable is. They call it a slave cable and use it for jumping off 2 vehicles, kind of like jumper cables. You know, fire extinguishers, first aid kits, machine guns. They all look just really good. I love the modeling that they did on all these new tanks. And again, it's a pretty heavy tank, 50.79 tons. Engine power is 650. Specific power to weight is 12.8, so you're not as, it's starting to get a lot slower with your tier 9 and 10. Top speed forward is 35 and reverse is 14. Concealment is 7.42, be expected because it's a heavy and it's got a pretty big silhouette. I mean, it's not small by any means. View range is 389, and again, I wanted to use coated optics, but I did not because of the long load time, aim time, dispersion. I ended up using vents, gun rammer, and the vertical stabilizers. One thing I want to point out, I'll show you in a minute after this, but view range is 389, signal range is 715. Normally, I'd say about 99% of the time, when I set a tank up, I use vents if I can help. You know, if the like aim time, dispersion, all that really suck. And I noticed when I set this up, the vents did not help. I think it was the dispersion. Yeah, dispersion. Look at that. Improved ventilation, class 3, 0. How? Where is it? Whoops. Yeah, 0. How can you have the vents and it doesn't help your dispersion? That always, and it's not just this one. I think it was like any one of these that I put vents on. I think, oh, that's the only one I put vents on. I could have sworn I put it on another one. Over here. Okay, so vents on the, let's say, dispersion. Yeah, 0.38. So the vents didn't help any of these. Maybe it's a goof up. Maybe they just haven't caught that yet. So I'll send in a ticket and say, hey, vents aren't helping the dispersion. Is that a mistake? Because all my other tanks, you give them vents, that helps your dispersion by at least 1, and it's saying 0 on anything that has vents. So a little bit weird. But yeah, if you want to hold on for a minute, we will have some gameplay and some post-game stats for you, so I'll be right back. Alrighty, so here we are at another new map. No, I'm just kidding, this is Al-Hulaf. Fooled you. In the 50 toilet paper. I think that's what the TP stands for. TP. Get it? TP, toilet paper. Never mind. Anyway, so this is a 50 TP. They all have funky long last names, and I'm not going to attempt to even pronounce it. I don't think it even shows it, so I couldn't say it if I wanted to. Yeah, it just says 50 TP. But, destroy. I wasn't worried about trying to get the missions done on this because this is just a test server. Even if I did the mission, it wouldn't give me credit for it on the actual server anyways. So I could finish it, get my 260 on the test server, and then have to turn around and redo all the missions I did on the test server on the standard server. So this is the tier 9, and you can see it moves. It reminds me a lot of the IS-4. I think this is kind of cool, the way these tracks kind of stick out like this in a way, because you'll get a lot of people that will think if they shoot you right here that it's going to, you know, go through and do damage to you, when all it's going to do is just knock your track off, because you can see on this side there's nothing there. If they hit it straight on. If they hit it at an angle, it's going to have to go through that track, your drive wheel, and then penetrate your front end, and I just don't really see that happening. The one thing I did notice that is kind of reminded me of a tank kind of driving backwards, because if you look, this looks more like a front end. You know, you got your lower plate, your upper plate, and this reminds me more of a rear end. You know, you just got it, comes back and then drops. I think that is going to be a big weak spot right here, because it is just one big flat chunk of steel. I can foresee that when you get hit there, it's going to take your driver out, probably take your radio man, or your gunner. We won't take your gunner out. So your driver and maybe the radio man. Yeah, so shut my mouth and get going here. I'm trying to talk as little as I can and pause it as little. I'm trying to pause it as little as I can. Of course, I'm going to talk a lot because it's me. But I'm going to try and pause it as little as I can, because this is already a lot of videos. Oh, one thing I'll tell you right now, I just remembered, bells and whistles just went off. When you go to put camo on these, don't worry about selecting the camo for it, because it's like one camo per season. So like wintertime, you got one camo that you can put on it. Summer, one, and sand or the desert, you have one camo to choose from. So I think, I would hope they'll have more camos added before. You can see how slow this is. As I said, it reminds me of the IS-4 big time. But I think they'll probably have more camos, assortment of camos to pick from before it actually gets released on the actual NA server. But as of right now, you've got one camo to pick for each season. So it's not like you're going, gosh, do I want this one, or what about that one? Well, this one looks good. Well, why don't I put this one with this one on that, and I'll put this one here? No, you get this one there, and this one there, and this one there, and you're done. This defender thought he was going to be a superhero, and he ends up getting his top popped. Like I said, just so much premium round slinging going on. I didn't mean to keep bumping into this 50 TP. I was in sniper mode like that. So I'll leave it in the mode that I was actually looking at, so you can see, because I don't want people to be like, oh geez man, you talk about people ramming, look at you. It's because I was in sniper mode and didn't see him, so I have an excuse. So don't talk back to me. Yell at you like one of my kids. This guy had a death wish. Yeah, I'm just going to drive right on out here and get plugged to death. I don't know what he was thinking. Maybe he got disconnected and his tank just didn't stop. Nice firing. He just, I guess, felt like he was going to let his tank go to crap. Now, you get 8 degrees of gun depression on this, I believe this when you get 8, and it doesn't feel like 8. Because you'll notice when I pop out to take shots at some of this stuff, my gun just goes way up in the air. I want to see if we can figure out just real quick where he penned. Oh, right there. So yeah, that wasn't going to pen. He was probably aiming for that commander's hatch. So far, I haven't. I put stickers and everything on here. Makes it look so pretty, because I'm not paying for it. World of Tanks is. They give you all that gold and those credits. You might as well use them. But I back up here and I lose some health because I was going to try going in at him in a different way, and there was no artillery, so there's really no reason why I should have done this. It was kind of dumb on my part. I think what it was is I just got sick of bumping into that guy over there. So I come up over, he gets a shot on me, that is a horrendous gun dispersion there. So he ends up penning me. Well, I wonder if there's two. Is there two sitting over there? Because one says I got hit by a standard round. He penned me for 604. Oh, no, it is two different ones. One's a 50 TP and one is a 53 TP. Because I lost 604 and then 427. One shooting premium rounds and one shooting standard. Surprise, surprise. I can't... Let me see if I can see where he did pen me there. Yeah, like I thought. Cha-ching, right there. But I don't know if that's a premium or a standard. What I really want to do is take this in like a test room and find out how well this driver's area can hold up to, you know, getting hit with rounds. If it's going to be like easy cheesy. Hey, who's in there? Can you hear me? I saw a video with a T6, I believe it was a T62 or a T54 over in like Kosovo or something when all that stuff was going on a couple of years back, several years back. Somebody actually took a hand grenade and ran up and rolled it down the barrel of the tank, and take a guess what happened. Yes, it blew up. It actually ammo racked the tank. You could see the hatch open. The guy was trying to get out, and he didn't get out in time, and boom, blew the turret right off the tank. So unfortunately, the crew was in the tank, and it killed everybody in it. But yeah, some guy ran up. They had the gun pointed up, but they didn't have it up pointed high enough. And some guy just literally ran up, took a hand grenade, and tossed it right down the breech of the gun, or not the breech, but the barrel of the gun. And obviously it rolled down there, and I would imagine there was probably a shell sitting right there loaded, and so it's got instant kaboom as soon as that thing goes, you know, detonates. So I got a shot in the back of that guy in the back of his turret there, and we back up. Now I'm seeing something I don't like to see, and that is a 4005 over here that's got a lot of health. T-34 rolls around, almost full health. 4005 rolls around, and he is... Well, he was full health, but yeah, that guy there in the M451 there, he got lucky that 4005 didn't just punch right through him. So this is the gun depression problem I was telling you about. You know, I wonder if this is only 7, because I'm having a heck of a time getting the gun down. We're able to get a shot into the 4005 here. So we hit him, but I know I'm screwed because he takes a shot here and misses. If I remember right. Nope, he chases me down here. Yeah, I was going to say, I thought he'd chase me down and got me. Ain't his tank purty? It's a Smurf. At least a head of a Smurf. But yeah, we go on to win this match. But yeah, that was the Tier 9. I like the Tier 10 a lot more. I like the Tier 8... I like the looks of this one, but I like pretty much everything about it except for the gun depression. It just doesn't seem to have gun depression. And I could have swore it had 8, but it sure does not feel like 8. Maybe off the front of it you don't get a full 8 because of the driver's hatch or something. Maybe it's like over here you get 8, and off the sides you get 8. But this area right here, maybe you don't get 8 because of the driver's hatch, so it sets right underneath it. Huh, I'll have to look at that and kind of figure it out. He ends up taking the 4005, and we win that match. Yay! Go team, go! But yeah, if you want to hold on for a minute, we'll have one last replay in the Tier 10, so I'll be right back. Alrighty, and here we are on the last, but probably I'd say close to the best is the Tier 10. Well, I wouldn't say the best in the world. I still think the IS-7 still got it beat. But we will see with the not having the pike nose in the front and how weak the driver's hatches or driver's hatch and driver's area is. I know that on the Tier 8, which, not the Tier 8 here, this one, but the premium, which I was a little bummed that they didn't have it set up to where we could buy that one and take it out you know, through the tech tree or anything. So unfortunately, I couldn't test it because I was looking forward to being able to test that one because I want to buy it here in a couple days. But the driver area on that one is not weak by any means, so I'm hoping that the Tier 10 is the same way. Look at that. How would you like to wake up and have this thing facing you? Make my day. So anyways, let's go over this monster. So, uh, unfortunately, I wonder, is it 152 J2? See if that's is it the same gun? 130. Okay, so no, that's a 130 millimeter. This is a 152. So you get a 152 millimeter. Standard pen, unfortunately, again, is only 250. Premium is 317, which now you get heat at 317, and I absolutely hate heat shells. Your HE is actually kind of high, 90 penetration for your HE, which is nice. 750 average damage for your standard or premium round, and 950 for your HE. Kind of, and the reason I'm pointing it over here is so I can read these to you and so you can see them, because if they're over here, it's kind of bright because of the sky. So we'll put it over like this so you can see them. So, rate of fire is slow, 3.57 rounds a minute. Reload is 16.83, and that's with a gun rammer, the vertical stabs, and coated optics for the vision, because they are, like I said, all of them are blind as a bat. I really hope they buff the vision on these. The vision, the aim time, dispersion, and reload all need to be buffed on all these just a little bit. I mean, like within just seconds, just a couple seconds on like a couple of them would be nice, or a couple points with the dispersion. The aim time on them are really that. The aim time, when I play a tank, if the aim time is that bad, you won't see me playing that tank much. Nothing irks me more than having a long aim time like 3 seconds almost, because it's just so hard to get your shots off and actually hit stuff, because here you're shrinking in, shrinking in, shrinking in, shrinking in, shrinking in, and then they move by the time you're shrunk in. And then you move your gun, and you got to shrink in, shrink in, shrink in, shrink in, and then they move. It's like, shit. So this, if anything, is going to be basically a face hugger, because with the gun dispersion of that, aim time like that, yeah, it's not going to be fun. Oh yeah, and I put these, oh, heinous, is that like, there's an anus? Heinous the anus? Junka! I don't know what the hell all that stuff means. Oh, and you get some funky like pickles and dog shit or something? What is that crap called? Bread with smalik. What is smalik? I need to look it up, because it looks like a pickle. It looks like it's on bread in like a pickle. Maybe smalik is a pickle. I have no clue what it is. I didn't put it on any of the crew members. And like my very first match in the 45 TP, the Tier 7, I got caught on fire. So we will see if you can run without fire extinguishers or not, because so far, it's not looking good. Aim time 2.88. Dispersion is 0.36. Average damage per minute is 2,674. You get 2,600 hit points, which is that's lower on the hit point scale for a Tier 10 heavy. You're not looking at E100 or Moss. You know, that's around 3,000. Well, what's the what's IS7? Is that about? That's, I think the IS7 is 22, isn't it? Oops. Let's see. Oh, what the hell? Durability, 2,400 hit points. So let's get back to that one. What was that? 24 on the IS7. This said 26. I guess it is a little bit higher then. Then we break it down to the armor. Hull armor on the front's 160. Turret is 260. On the side, you got 100 on the hull, 150 on the turret. And on the rear, you got 90 on the hull and 100 on the turret. Oh, and by the way, I might skip trying to get to 260 for a bit and go for that new Tier 10. Let me see if I can figure out how to get to that thing. I think it's considered campaigns. this Object 279. I might skip the 260 for a little bit. Wait a minute. If I remember right, it says something about when I was running a match for the Excalibur, or running a match, it said something about you're doing both missions at the same time for the Excalibur and like the tier, the other one, the Excalibur and the oh, how did I get to that other thing? Okay, so like if you're doing the mission for the Object 279, if you hit, I think it's N, it's either N or Alt, I think it said N, it'll bring up a thing, and it said something about you're working on the mission for the Object 260 and for the Excalibur at the same time. So that'll be cool. So that way, if you're running a heavy tank, let's say, and you might have done the mission that you were trying for the 260, but you didn't do the one for what is this thing, 279? Yeah, 279. Then you still get the mission done for the 260, or vice versa. Maybe you got the one done for the 279, but you didn't for the 260. So you're still getting credit for, it lets you work at both of them at the same time, which I think is really cool. I wish the way it was set up was if you didn't have to highlight, okay, I want to do mission number 1, I want to do mission number 2. I wish it had 15 missions, and if you happen to get a mission done, it gave you credit for it. You didn't have to highlight it to do it. If you just happen to get that mission done, you got credit for it. That would be so much nicer. Because how many times have you said, okay, mission number 1, destroy 20 enemy vehicles? I hope that's not at once. that better be within 10 battles or something. But it's got to be. But how many times have you said, okay, I'm going to do mission number 1, and you get going, boom, 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 boom. You end up doing mission number 2, but you had mission number 1 highlighted, so you don't get credit for it. I wish it was set up so if you did a mission, it just actually gave you credit for the whole thing. That would be phenomenal. Spot 25 enemy vehicles or remain on spot. This has got to be multiple. Let's see, spotting. Spot 25 enemy vehicles while remaining unspotted. Progress 0-20. Complete the primary condition for unlimited number. Oh, that's nice. Complete the primary condition for unlimited number of battles. Awesome. So if you got to spot like 4 vehicles now, you got to spot them all at once. In one battle. Now you got to spot 25 vehicles, but you could do it in 100 battles if you're bad at spotting vehicles. That was good thinking. I like that, and I like that a lot. Complete the secondary conditions. The indicated number. Complete 0 of 5. Win a battle. Complete secondary condition. So this is the same thing. You just got to win 5 battles to complete the second part of that mission. I really like what they're doing with these missions. They're making them a little bit more feasible to actually do the damn things. All right. But anyways, if you want to hold on for a minute, we went over the... No, wait. Did we do... Nope, I think we're still on this. I'm sorry. Yeah, 60.73 ton tank, 780 horsepower engine. Your specific power weight is 12.84. Top speed in forward 35 and reverse is 14. Traverse speed 25.3 and traverse 25.3. So yeah, easily can get circle strafed in this. Concealment 7.99. View range 429, and again that's with coated optics because it's blind as a bat. And signal range is 730. Yeah, I really hope they buff a few of the things, namely the view range. Penetration would be nice. Dispersion would definitely be a nice thing to have them buff. Aim time, 2.88. Yeah, that's kind of a long time. But anyways, if you want to hold on for a minute, I will have some game plans, post-game stats, so I will be right back. Alrighty, so here we are in the 60 toilet paper, the 60 TP and Live Oaks. Hey, I named it. It's the toilet paper tank, the TP. So if you hear that, you can think back and say, that tank and trucker dude named it the toilet paper tank. So this is the 60 TP, the tier 10, with a big behemoth of Boomastica on there. It's a 152 millimeter, 250 standard pen, 317 I think it is for the heat. Yep, 317 and 90 for the HE. I shoot a premium round, kind of. I shouldn't even have tried with the ping that I'm getting because of being on the test server. It was a wasted shot. I start loading a standard round after that. I'm trying to be nice and let these people through, and then he backs into me, and I'm polite. I don't want these Russians to think us people from the U.S. are dicks. So I shoot the premium round. I completely missed whatever I was shooting at. I wanted to see, this is the elevation of that gun. Look at that. Oh, so sweet. Should have been in a parade, driving in a parade. But it's got great gun elevation and gun depression. And then when I get down here on the ground, you'll see me pointed at the ground. Should have done that with all the tanks so that you could have a better idea. But this is pointing straight down at the ground. So I believe it's 8 degrees of gun depression. So you can kill those ants on the ground right in front of you. So yeah, it's got really good gun depression. But yeah, as I was saying, I shoot my heat round, completely miss. It was loading a regular AP round, but I didn't actually hit a tank or kind of shoot at a good target, so I reload another heat round. So I actually shot 2 heat rounds, and then the rest I shot AP rounds. 250 pen is right on the verge of kind of good, kind of not really good. I mean, I think it's still more than the E100. I think the E100 gets, what is it, 246 for its premium or AP round. Yeah, right there. I just thought he was going to zing through that building. I thought, haha, I will pop him as he drives through there, and it hit the building. So you can see I was loading a standard round, then I'm like, oh, screw that, I'm loading a premium. And so I started loading that. Already hits me, but only for 139. So it wasn't a direct hit, but it was pretty darn close. I'm stunned. So I'm kind of taking it easy, but I don't want to get hit by artillery again, so I'm going to kind of try and get a shot off here and tuck in and sneak around and see what I can do. I was going to pop out here, and then I saw this guy. Nice shot in the side there for 668. And the AMX-50B shoots me and bounces. I'm just kind of trying to stay already safe, and then I knocked the building down there that's covering my butt. That was real bright, huh? But you can see we got 1, 2, 3 heavies, including myself, would be 4. And the rest of our team went that way. Pretty much, yeah. So, well, our T100 LT sitting there doing absolutely nothing. I mean, what's he going to do sitting there? I mean, honestly, he's not going to light anything up. It's already lit up here in the city. These guys are over here lighting that stuff up. These guys are lighting anything up there. If anything, he should be booking up through here trying to kill artillery or try and light whatever. But just sitting there doing that, he's doing absolutely nothing for the team. So there's a complete of all 4 of us in here, and that's it. And the city gets pretty well overrun pretty quick. As you can see, they got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I think they have 1 or 2 more actually come into the city. Yeah, there's another one heading. Right, the Type 5's heading this way. I should have taken that shot, because I would have probably hit that 50B. That Super Conqueror, man, I'm telling you, that thing is still a great tank. It's, I get a nice shot on this RHM PZW, or whatever that little thing is. But you can see, you still got the, even artillery shooting premium rounds, but, yeah, I guess, hey, it's not costing him crap to shoot the premium rounds, so why not? That T100 LT knocks my track off, pins me from 247. I take a shot, and that lovely dispersion completely does nothing for me. And you can see there's still a little bit of an issue with the sound. Like that T100 LT hit me, and it didn't even make a boom. Thought I was gonna get a nice shot at this RHM, but he was hauling butt the other way. And at this point, I'm smart enough to back the hell up. I should have probably started taking off a little bit ago, because there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, basically almost half their team over here, and there's all 2 of us left now. I've still got 3/4 of my health. He's got about half his health, and with what they got here, it's going to go quick. So, yeah, I should have started backing up or getting out of there a little bit quicker, but that little light tank kept flipping tracking me. I get a shot at the 60 TP, and then I'm like, okay, this is not going to end well. So I'm thinking I just need to back up out of here as quick as I can. You know, I'm not going to turn around and run because, you know, it's not going to do any good, because if I turn around, then I got shots on my butt. And this way I still doing damage as I back up. They take out my driver. That's what I wanted to see. Where did he hit my tank to knock my driver out? I'm betting it's this one right here. It doesn't, that one almost looks like it was a bounce. Oh, nope, there it is. Dang it all. Right there. So somebody shot me with, yeah, but 60 TP hit me with a heat round. Right there, knocked out my driver. So he went right through that, right in the side there. The nice thing about this is it doesn't have a pike nose, so you don't have to worry. You can do some pretty massive side scraping because, you know, you can angle it without worrying about, that little T100 FT was doing a pretty good job. See, now that round right there, I'm trying to think, who knocked him out? Type 5 heavy destroyed. Mr. Monk. Is that on our team? It's gotta be. Oh, it is. Okay, Mr. Monk. I was wondering who killed that little guy right there. Jeez, I'm criminy. Where was he at to get that shot off? That was a... Did this say type... I missed it now. I thought it said type 5 heavy. And it was Mr. Monk. Yeah, it was a type 5 heavy. I wonder where he was to get a shot off. Oh, wow, it's pouring out here. Yeah, I don't see where the type 5 heavy... Oh, he's right behind me. I'm like, don't I feel like a flippin' retard? I'm looking all over for him on the mini-map, and I'm not seeing him because, you know, I mean, you can't even see it when you make the mini-map as big as you can. He was right behind me. I didn't even know he was there. But I was wondering who knocked out that little light tank. But, yep, that answered that question. Duh! But, yeah, so I'm his armor right now. I don't think I even get this shot off right here. No, I pull forward to take a shot. I get shot, so yes, that sucked. But we did almost 3,000 damage. Not too shabby, but you know, the gun does 750 average damage. I still like it a lot more than like the E100, just because of the fact that it's got so much better maneuverability. And it'll take a little getting used to getting used to the armor for side scraping and angling and all that stuff, you know. I mean, just because I've been playing tanks for almost 10 years now, you know, they all have different quirks. Like if you angle it this way, you'll do good. If you angle it that way, the round's going to go right through you like butter. So, but yeah, the team ends up, believe it or not, with them coming all this way and only having these guys here and a few tank destroyers and artillery there, they end up pulling this one out of their hat and we win this one. So it was pretty phenomenal. Phenomenal, man. Phenomenal. But anyways, yeah, so that was the tier 7, 8, 9, and 10. But, yeah, so if you want to hold on for a minute, I will have some post-game stats for you, so I'll be all right back. I like it. I like it a lot. I like it a whole lot. I really like the tier 10. It's oh my gosh. It's got some good bang for its buck. Good armor. I got hit by a lot of premium rounds. Lost city really fast, unfortunately. With the amount of people that were in the city, I thought we were going to be able to take it, but no such luck. But that was a Master Badge Class 3. It was an all Tier 10 match, too, by the way. Got fire for effect. Made 8 bonds, but it doesn't matter because this is just a test server. I wish you could carry bonds and stuff over that you earned over to the regular account. But the 60 TP, we hit him one time for 811. Now remember, this gun average damage is what, 750, right? Yeah, 750. So that was a nice hit. 811. Knocked out his ammo rack. Other 60 TP, we hit him for 732. a little bit of a low roll. Well, you give and take, what do you expect? Knocked out his track, bounced one of his rounds for 750, and he got hit for 222 upon me spotting him. Bounced the AMX 50B round for, he must have knocked my track off. Super Conquer, we hit him one time for 668, and another low roll. And knocked out his track, and RHM PZW, another light tank, which was playing in the city. I don't know what it is with those guys on the Russian server, but boy, they like playing in the city where heavy tanks go with these little light tanks. And we hit him for 664, another low roll. It's 750 average damage, right? Yeah, 750, and that was one good roll and 3 low rolls. So yeah, 664, 668, 732, and we got one good roll at 811. What a bummer. We bounced one round from the T100 LT for 300, and he got hit for 106 upon me spotting him, which he was in the city right in front of me. We did 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6 highest damage with 2875. Got a base experience of 784. It was a pretty good team. They came back. I thought we were going to lose the way they came rolling through the city. And, yeah, they came back to pull off a win, which is real nice. Progetto had a real hell of a good game. So we had 6 shots, 4 hit, 4 pen. And I loaded a premium round, took a shot, missed, so I reloaded a premium round. Because you'll see it went over to the standard, started loading. I'm like, screw it, I didn't get to shoot my premium round and hit something. So I reloaded a premium round again. So we shot 2 premium rounds, then standard. So I don't even know if that premium round, when I actually shot it at a tank, if it hit or missed or what. But so 2875 damage. You got hit 10 times, 7 pen, 3 bounce for 1050 damage bounce. And again, a lot of premium rounds flying. I think the only thing that was shooting standard round was that little RHM PZW, and no, it wasn't him. I thought there was a light, or maybe it was a T100. It might have been this T100 LT. I know there was a light tank in the city. I think it was him actually. I think he got which one of these guys? Somebody, I think, unless it was somebody on my team. I thought one of those light tanks got killed by a friendly. So I'm going to do something real quick. I just want to see if, because he was like sitting right in front of me and got blowed up. So we're looking for damage blocked by armor, 4,000. Was that? Yeah, 4,000. Yeah, the armor on this, if somebody's shooting, because I try and shoot standard rounds, except for my first one on the test server. Yeah, maybe must have been a friendly killed him. So we damaged 4, destroyed 0, 328 with our assistance, and we lost 42,881 credits. We did use 2 consumables, so that was the big part of it. Yeah, we only used 19,280 in ammo. Must have been I think it was a first aid kit and repair kit is what I ended up using. I do like the tier 10. Out of the bunch, that is my favorite of the new tanks. That big flipping boomstick. Now the penetration is only 250, but I was shooting standard rounds except for the one premium round, and I didn't seem to have really much of any trouble going through what was there. But I didn't get any shots at any of the Type 5s. There was no mosses, so that's going to be the real test of the gun. And again, you're going to have to aim for weak spots. With 250 pen at your mosses. Your license plates, cheeks of the turret. Type 5 heavies, the commanders or the driver's hatch and the machine gun port. You got to know these weak spots, aim for them, and 250 should go through no problem. I love the looks of this thing. It is not the fastest tank in the world. 35 in forward, 14 in reverse. It does get up to its top speed, pretty quick. And it'll maintain it all right. But, if you hit some hills. Oh, and Artie hit me right off the bat. I was like, you son of a... Only hit me for 135, but I'm like, 14 other players, and I'm on a Russian server, and I still have the same luck on a Russian server where artillery try and bone me. Like, son of a bitch. But anyways, yeah. So that, to what I could test and actually get into a battle and take out and show you guys was basically tier 7 to tier 10, and I do really like them. I really, really, really like this Tier 10, and I cannot wait to have it in my garage. One thing I did notice is I'm wondering if this is going to be like your IS3, um, your 257, where it's got this strip across the top of the turret, where like if something, if you're kind of going, let's say, down a bit of a hill or something, and you know that's angled down, somebody can penetrate through that, or if it's like a Type 5 or Type 4 Heavy where they're setting higher and they can shoot right down in that. I'm wondering if that's going to be a weak spot. I got a feeling it is because I noticed it on that one. This one. This one's got a little one, kind of like the IS3. This one doesn't. This starts getting into your regular kind of turret without that. That's pretty cool. I bet you that's going to bounce some rounds if they shoot you in that. Well, that's just a Poodle. Yeah, but all in all, you know, I really want to try this one. This is one out of all of them, I really want to try it. And I've tried a couple more times to get into a battle. Oh, look at those freaking guns on. That's got to be guns. Is that machine guns? Yeah, it's got to be like water-cooled machine guns or something. Freaking wicked. Yeah, out of all of them, I really, really, really want to try this one. And every time I hit battle, I just sat there for 5 minutes and it kicks me back to the garage. So I'll try a couple more times. If I'm lucky enough to get into a battle with it, I'll try and get it posted for you guys. But yeah, the Tier 1, 2, 3, 4, and Tier 5, I have not... Oh, and the, yeah, well, I didn't take the Poodle out because that's just, everybody, you know, you could already have the Poodle. But yeah, Tier 1 through 5, I haven't been able to get into a battle yet, which really sucks. But yeah, so I hope you enjoyed what you saw for all the other battles. If you want to hold on, oh, actually, that was our post-game stats on that one, wasn't it? Yeah, so yeah, that's the end of the movie. End of the movie. Throw your popcorn out, throw out your bottles. Don't leave anything in the aisle seats, please. Clean up your mess. But anyways, yeah, I hope you enjoyed the review of the Tier 7, 8, 9, and 10. And yeah, keep an eye out. Maybe they'll do some buffs on them because I think they're a little bit, certain aspects are weak, like your aim time, view range, dispersion. Just some of the main aspects of the tank that really need to be good are kind of weak. So keep an eye out. Maybe they'll buff them up a little bit. I am going to send them a message about the vents not doing anything for the aim time. Don't I have vents? Oh, I don't have vents on that one. Because, yeah, when you aim at your aim time where it says 2.81, it says, well, that one says 0.07 now. Aim time. Don't I have vents? Oh, come on. Okay, that one I did not. This one I did not. This one I did. That one I did not. Oh, no, it was, yeah, I'm sorry, it was the dispersion that says -0. It doesn't, or 0. It doesn't, says it doesn't give any assistance to the dispersion, which really, that's got to be something wrong. I think it's a, oh, and how'd you like that last, the Tier 10 match there when everybody's tracks were all messed up? Like that Progetto, his track came down and it kind of went forward and had a big, where the road wheels should be, or the drive wheels should be, and it's up here with nothing in it. It's kind of funny. It happened to all the tanks there, but it's a glitch in the game. But yeah, anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the review of the new line. And like I said, keep an eye out for it for any kind of buffs. I don't see them doing any kind of nerfs to them. They're, at present time, I would say if anything, they would probably want to buff them a little bit here and there. But I don't see them, foresee them doing any kind of nerfs to them because they are definitely not overpowered. They're going to be a fun tank to play though. They look like they got some bang for their buck, some kick in that big old flipping gun on that Tier 10. Was it a 152, right? 152, 155, 152. Yeah, it's got some freaking thump to it. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please click the like button down below and subscribe to the channel. You guys take it easy, be safe, and I will see you on the battlefield.